Grade 7, Mr. Butler here. Now, when a writer wants to tell their reader what someone has said, they have two ways of doing it. They can either use what we call direct speech, or they can use what we call indirect speech. And the two are slightly different. So let's take a look at an example where we can see them both in action. Okay, now this is from a newspaper article that was in yesterday's online Guardian, okay, from the Guardian website. Now brace yourselves, this is a little bit shocking, okay? Here we go. Are you ready? There we go. So, in this article, two scientists are telling a newspaper reporter called Michael Slezak about the discovery of this giant rat in the Solomon Islands that is so big it can eat coconuts. Okay, so the two scientists, one's called Tyrone Lavery and the other is called Tim Flannery, are talking to the reporter. So in this paragraph here, we see speech marks, and this that I've highlighted is exactly word for word, another way to say that is verbatim, exactly what, in this case, Tim Flannery has said to the reporter, and it carries on there. Okay, this is more of what he said to the reporter. Now, in direct speech, we always see speech marks. So there's always either single quotes or double quotes. Both are okay. Okay. In the next paragraph, we have indirect speech. Now, in this instance, it could be that Tyrone Lavery, in this case, maybe what he said was too lengthy, and the reporter has decided that for the reader, they don't need to have as much information. So the reporter has just given the gist. They've just given us a summary or report, a cut down version. Okay, so they've said Lavery said he had not found evidence of the rat eating coconuts. Okay, in the next paragraph, we have Lavery's exact words. Okay, if they could get through a Nagali nutshell, they could get through a coconut, he told the Guardian. Those are his exact words. So we switch in this article to keep it interesting. We've got direct speech, indirect speech, direct speech, indirect speech, direct speech. You get the idea. Okay, it keeps it interesting. So that gives us some kind of idea as to some more information that we can put into our write-up. So let's give the alternative names for these, and this is where we really get the clues as to how these are used. So indirect speech is also known as reported speech. Okay. Direct speech is also known as dialogue. Okay. Now, what we can also do at this point is we can perhaps sketch in some definitions. So, thinking about direct speech, what did we see in that article? Well, the direct speech was always in quotation marks, and it was exactly what one person had said. So we could say for our definition, direct speech is the exact speech of one person to another. Remember, it was in quotation marks, wasn't it? So we can say, as quoted, recorded in a sentence. Okay? Now we've used a subclause here, as quoted, so the sentence has to make sense if we take that out. Okay? So the exact speech of one person to another, recorded in a sentence. That's a good definition for direct speech. Okay? Now if we go to indirect speech and give a definition for that, let's fill this one in as well. So in this, remember, the reporter was just summarizing what the scientists had said. So we can say indirect speech is a summary of what one person says to another without their exact words being quoted, reported in a sentence. Okay, so there we have two definitions for indirect speech and direct speech.